Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to the Krista Chronicles. I am so excited about today's topic. I just thought this would be really fun to make a video about because I've been sharing a little bit about how I've been pairing tarot decks with the video games I've been playing. So I thought I would make a video showing you all of the decks and games I have paired thus far. Now, as far as explanation as to like why I do this, one, I just think it's fun. I like merging my interests together, so sometimes just coming up with the pairing is as far as it goes, but a lot of the time I will pull out these certain decks while I'm playing this game, and at the very least I will pull a card before I start playing just to kind of get a vibe of, I don't know, just how that gaming time is gonna go. But in some games where you kind of have to really make choices and get into dialogue, if I can't decide, I'll use it for that, or just to see what direction I want to go in the game if that comes up. So that's kind of just explanation as to why I do it, but for the most part, I just think it's fun, and I like just having a deck with me at all times. So, without further ado, let's get into the first game and deck pairing. Alright, so the first game is actually my newest one, the latest I've been playing, and it's a game called Mail Time. Now, for each of these, I'm going to read the kind of quick description that Steam gives, because I mostly right now play on a Steam Deck, so Steam games is kind of where it's at for me, but I am working on adding my Switch into my setup, so perhaps that is coming. Anyways, Mail Time, so cute. It's mail time. As a newly trained mail scout, put on your pack, grab those letters, and deliver them across Grumblewood Grove. The forest animals eagerly await the sight of your mushroom hat in this cozy cottagecore light platformer adventure. So this game is so fun. It's pretty much an exploration platformer game with this cute, as it said, cottagecore forest theme. So the deck I have been pairing with this lately has been the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot, which is also probably my latest tarot deck. And so the reason I kind of paired these together, one, as much as I wish I did, I don't feel like I have a deck that perfectly like visually matches this game. If you know of one, please let me know. But otherwise, the game kind of reminds me of Winnie the Pooh, because it feels like our male scout is Christopher Robin in a way, because as you go around, you're pretty much meeting solely with animal friends. And it's really got this storybook feel that I think matches. And regardless, it just gives me the same kind of warm and fuzzy feeling. I've been loving this game. It's such a good one to play in the morning, which also, same with this deck, it's really a fun one to kind of use first thing in the morning. Just a nice, gentle, cute start to the day. So that is my first game and deck pairing. That is Mail Time with the Wisdom of Pooh Tarot. The next game I have to share is called Bear and Breakfast. So, Bear and Breakfast is a laid-back management adventure game where you build and run a bed and breakfast. But you're a bear. So, I really like this game. It's another one that's pretty easygoing, relaxing, and like it said, you build this, actually multiple bed and breakfasts throughout this forest world. So, the deck that I pair with this is the Mystery Tarot. Now, something about the animation style in this game and just kind of the world it's in really reminds me of Gravity Falls, which is what this tarot is based off of. Right? Like, I think the animation style is very, very similar. And I always imagine too, well, some of the different lands you go in this game have different seasons. It feels very kind of summer camp to me. And there's also some wacky things going on in this game where it's, again, you're a bear building this bed and breakfast, and the whole idea is that the humans have no idea it's a bear. At a certain point, they don't realize it's kind of animals running the show, and that kind of wackiness also really reminds me of this show, because in a way, the humans in this show are kind of intruding on the forest homes of many mythical creatures and cryptids and things of that sort, so they just really remind me of each other. This was like one of those where it was instant. I knew what deck I wanted to use with it, so that is my second pairing. That is Bear and Breakfast with the Mystery Tarot. The next game I want to talk about is Wildflowers. Join Tara on a heartfelt journey to become a witch in Wildflowers. Farm by day and cast spells by night as you craft your cottagecore life and bond with your coven. Come to know and love the fully voice-acted characters of Fairhaven as you unravel a local mystery. I have been loving this game so much, like so ridiculously much, to the point where I repurchased this deck because it was the only right choice. And that is, oh my gosh, the Everyday Witch Tarot. I almost forgot the name of it, which I still need to make a bag for, but we're working on it. And so the reason this just really reminded me of the game is because the setting is very much like a modern setting, but then there's these points where, like it said, you meet with your coven and it becomes all of a sudden very witchy, but like kind of like with these robes, but then you're in modern clothes. It so perfectly fits what's going on in this deck, which is funny because I know a common complaint is that there's this witchy garb, but then you switch suddenly to a modern world, which usually I don't love, but that's what's going on in this game, and so it was like, this was the only choice for this game, so I had a mini one, but I was like, I need to get the full version back because this is the only deck that's gonna work for some reason. That was the choice. So there's so much this game is so fun. I don't even know how to put into words how much I'm loving this game because it's just the best. If you love farming sims, this is a really, really fun one to try because, as it said, all of the characters are fully voiced, which is kind of different from the usual. So that's my third pairing, Wildflowers with the Everyday Witch Tarot. Next up is Potion Craft, which is definitely more of a relaxing puzzle-style game. So, Potion Craft is an alchemist simulator where you physically interact with your tools and ingredients to brew potions. You're in full control of the whole shop. Invent new recipes, attract customers, and experiment to your heart's content. Just remember, the whole town is counting on you. Now, this is a very, very medieval vibe, so immediately my brain went to the Golden Tarot. And I love this game and deck pairing. I love this deck so much. And I was like, oh, another reason to pull it out? Yes. So this is another game that I also really like playing, especially in the morning before work, because you do have to think a little bit because it is a puzzle game, but for the most part, once you kind of know the recipes and kind of understand what people are asking for, you can kind of go through the motions a bit. And it's a really, again, relaxing game. I like playing it before work. And I like being able to pull out this deck in the morning too, just because it makes me so happy. And right now this is the only puzzle game I have, but I really like that genre, so I definitely am looking for more. But this is my fourth pairing, Potion Craft with the Golden Tarot. Last but not least, of course, we've got Balers Gate 3, which, oh my gosh, if you play this game, you know, it's so good, so good. So I'm just gonna read the little description they give, but if you were at all, like, just look into it, because there's so much to the game, in the best kind of way. Balers Gate 3 is a story-rich, party-based RPG set in the universe of Dungeons & Dragons, where your choices shape a tale of fellowship and betrayal, survival and sacrifice, and the lure of absolute power. Now, as you can tell from the rest of my games, this does not fit my usual gaming vibe, but I think this is one that anyone could get into and use me as a testament, because I've never really played a game quite like this before, so yes. And I also have 2 decks to show for this. So let's start out with kind of the general deck I like to use, and of course, that's the Dungeons & Dragons Tarot. So this is one that let's get it out of the box. I just kind of like to have with me when I'm playing. And so any kind of cards that I need to pull for my own choices, for guidance on what to do, which this is the game where that really comes up. I tend to use my cards the most in this game, especially when visiting camp, doing a long rest like you do in this game. After every long rest, I like to pull a card, because it is in-game like a reset of your day. And so this is the deck I really like to use for that. And of course, you know, both are based around Dungeons & Dragons, so that's kind of a given. Now the other deck I have to show is very much inspired by Lisa and Don Michelle's Balers Gate streams, which they have multiple games going on now. It's so fun. If you haven't checked that out, it's on Don Michelle's second channel, Don Michelle 2. And we are all obsessed with the character, oh my gosh, things are falling, Astarion. And he's now referred to as boyfriend, and now everyone has boyfriend decks, so basically a deck dedicated to interacting with Astarion, and mine is the True Black Tarot. And it just reminds me of him, so that is what it is. And so I also always have this one with me when I play, because he's always in party with me, no matter what. And I just really also like this deck a lot, so oftentimes I'll even just kind of generally use this deck while I'm playing, and not use the Dungeons & Dragons deck. But a lot of my gameplay right now is pretty much revolving around Astarion and his approval points, so that explains that. But I don't know, it's got his vibe. So this is my boyfriend deck. So I had to show that as well. And that, my friends, is the last pairing I have to show you for today. So let me know if you like pulling out tarot while you play video games. I'd love, oh my gosh, I just knocked over so much stuff trying to put the deck away. So I'm actually gonna edit that out so you don't all get terrified by the sudden crash. Anyways, if you're just playing a game you really like right now, I'd love to know. I always love getting game recommendations, but other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon.